Hey guys, it's Evan Swanson here of Swanson Home Loans Division of Cherry Creek Mortgage. This week I'm going to share with you guys a forecast or outlook for the next decade regarding interest rates. Now, first off, the 2020s, this new decade, might be the best decade economically of the century. If you remember back to the 2000s, we had the housing bust at the tail end of that decade, and that created a deep economic recession that lasted into the beginning of last decade. We are starting this decade off with low unemployment, stable economic growth. So hopefully that pattern continues and we have a healthy economic decade ahead. What about interest rates? It can be very difficult to predict interest rates because of the myriad of factors that can contribute to the movements. I'm going to share a slide here. This is the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage in the United States going back 40 years. In the blue line, you can see there's a pretty significant trend lower over the past 4 decades. This red line here is the federal funds rate. This is the rate the Fed controls. You'll notice there is not a direct correlation between the rate the Fed controls with their policy and the movement of mortgage rates. However, mortgage rates have been trending lower over the next 4 decades. That leads me to believe that we will see relatively low rates of interest over the next 10 years. The Bank of England just released this report, which basically showed interest rates globally going back to the 1300s. Now, there's not one index they can track, so they had to do some math and aggregate a bunch of different interest rates. But you'll notice here, even over the last 700 years, there is a pretty clear pattern lower. Of course, there are spikes at various points throughout this graph, but generally speaking, interest rates have been moving lower over the past 700 years. I predict mortgage rates will remain relatively low, 5% and below for the next decade. But again, there's no guarantees. If you want to learn about your options, please contact us today. Thanks for watching.